Anbernic's RG477M might just be the most premium handheld yet. It feels like Anbernic's love letter to retro gaming. Sleek, powerful, and built like a tank. But it's not perfect. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back. I'm Matt, and this is Digital Jedi Gaming. And this is the RG477M. This is Anbernic's latest device, and it is premium. It's got an all aluminum shell, it's got an incredible screen, and tons of power to boot. So, before we get into the specs, let's talk about what comes in the box. So obviously, you get the device. This comes in two colors, silver blade, and this color here, which is chocolate bronze. Very nice, very premium. Just the color, the whole aesthetic of it just screams premium. You also get your standard affair. You get a standard USB-C cable from Anbernic, just your normal stuff. Get a very cool that they include a screen protector. And this is the first for Anbernic. They actually included a TPU case, which is a really nice touch to help protect this device from scratches and stuff like that if you toss it in your backpack. Very good. So let's talk about what this is. This is what I would say probably Anbernic's most premium device that they've ever released. It comes with this incredible aluminum shell. It's a very heavy, premium feeling shell. Quite possibly the biggest star of the show is the screen. It comes with a 4.7-inch LTPS in-cell display screen. It's a resolution of 1280 by 960 at 120 hertz refresh rate. So what that means by it being LTPS, really from a traditional IPS screen, it's a little bit thinner, okay? A little bit, they say that they have a shorter lifespan, but when we're measuring these kind of things, the device will be gone by then. I mean, we're, a couple years difference in variance. It's not like it's gonna die out in a week or two, so I wouldn't worry about that. But the screen itself is gorgeous, okay? Power-wise, so we have a MediaTek Dimensity 8300. This thing is a power-hungry beast, okay? Comes with a Mali GPU, a G615 MC6. You get two options for RAM. You get an 8 gig option or a 12 gig option. Okay, this model is the 8 gig model. You get storage, you get for the 8 gig, you had 128 gigs of UFS. For the 12 gig, you get 256 gigs of UFS. Operating system, this does come with Android 14. Comes with Wi-Fi 6E. It also comes with Bluetooth 5.3. It's got a 5300 milliamp hour battery, micro SD slot that can support up to 2 terabyte SD card, has two stereo speakers, which are down-firing speakers there, okay, on the device itself. So you have this awesome D-pad. Anbernic has pretty much mastered the D-pad at this point in the game. I mean, they're I don't know. I have a hard time picking between Anbernic and Retro's D-pads because they're just both so good, but this guy is a killer. The face buttons are spectacular. They're quiet, they feel good, they're membrane. I mean, they're just right on point. You have your home and back buttons. Start and select it. This drives me nuts. A lot of companies do this. If you're gonna put the 4 buttons on the bottom, man, make this the start button, make this the back button, make this the select button, and this the home button. It drives me nuts when they put start and select on the same side. I like to use RetroArch, I like to use menus. I wanna, hold select and hit that there. So for me, that's my go-to combo, so that drives me nuts, but it's okay. Now, so something that Anbernic has got a lot of flack of lately is their stick choices. The 557 came out and terrible sticks. Last year, most of the devices that had sticks, people complained about sticks. I didn't think they were that bad. Now, these sticks here are the same sticks that were on the RG406H, the RG406V. They're large angle 3D Hall effect sticks. I love them. They are great. In my opinion, these are the best sticks Anbernic's ever made. They're not full-size sticks, but they are bigger than the other ones. They feel great. They have incredible range of motion. I mean, they're just great sticks. I'm going to show you something else cool about the stick shortly. On the bottom of the device, we have 2 down-firing speakers. We have a USB-C port, a micro SD slot, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Nothing on the right, nothing on the left. On the top, we have a vent, power, and your volume rocker, little LED, and you have inline shoulder and trigger buttons. Clicky, there, dome switch, or micro switch. Can you hear them? Yeah. On the back, we have the fan. We have some of these traditional, like I guess, unique to Anbernic style, like backing. And typically on the other ones, they were rubber. These are plastic. You got your venting there. You got your logo on the back there. That's pretty much the gist of this device. So I want to talk again about these triggers and shoulders. So I don't know what it is, why Anbernic does it. They always make some decision on every single device that just like is off the wall to me, right? This is a great device. I've had so much fun playing with this device. What blows my mind is that this is a big, heavy guy. For me, probably for most people, you're not going to be carrying this in your pocket, right? So why not put stacked shoulders and triggers? I don't get the point of inline shoulders and triggers. At this point, this kind of stuff happens so frequently with Anbernic. I feel like they're sabotaging themselves. You know, I mean, this would have been so much better if there was stacked shoulders and triggers. These aren't bad. They work. They're functional. It's just, you know, if you have a couple different devices, stacked shoulders and triggers just feel better. They really, really, really do. So the screen is a 4x3 screen, right? What does that mean? It is absolute perfection for retro games. I say for up to PS2, this is the best experience I've had on a device. It's just perfect for it. You know, the screen to 4x3 aspect ratio with the D-pad on top. You know, there's some people that say for more powerful devices that do 3D gaming and stuff like that, the stick should be on top. Some people are all about it. You know, for this device and for my use case, I think D-pad on top all the way. The sticks are a little bit taller. Can you see my thumbs? They kind of are up under my thumbs. It's not terrible. It's not uncomfortable or anything like that, but it does, you know, you are putting your thumbs on it. It hasn't been a problem for me when I've gamed. With the sticks being down here, you're shifting your hand that way to play like PS2 or something. I don't have any issues. It's not uncomfortable or anything like that. So all that positive, let's talk about some of the negative. This is heavy. And it goes with any metal handheld that typically are heavy, but it is heavy, and which is not a big deal because it feels ultra premium. But for a long play session, it can get a little uncomfortable in the hand. I was playing Black on PS2 the other day for probably, I don't know, after about 40 minutes, it was just starting to get uncomfortable. The device doesn't get particularly hot or anything like that, but I think that weight of it and how compact and sturdy it is, it starts to get a little uncomfortable there. So that was a little kind of, you know, a complaint. The other thing is these shoulders and triggers, man. Stacked would have just been better. They are a little bit, they're clicky. They're very clicky. I know some people are sensitive to that. That doesn't really bother me. But, you know, but it's just the fact that they're inline. I'm just not a huge fan of. This guy has a fan here. It gets humming. You know, you start gaming after a while, the device, it starts to get warm and the fan kicks on. It does what it's supposed to do, cool the device down. It's got a small whistle to it. It's not dramatic. I know a couple other people talked about it and said the fan was super loud. So, I mean, it's loud. It's not, you know, screaming like an x86 device loud. And when you're gaming, you don't hear it, you don't notice it. So it's not the end of the world. But I just wanted to kind of cover everything with you on it. Look at how vibrant that screen is. You see that? It is absolutely gorgeous. Typical with Android in these devices, you have different settings. That's not what I actually want to show you. What I want to show you, which I thought was pretty cool, was let's do lights. It's got RGB, full RGB in there, which is pretty cool. They look really well. They do breathing patterns. They do solid. There's a bunch of different ones. What's really awesome about this device and the RGB and stuff on it is, and these sticks as well, right? So these sticks, they feel great, but something I love is that these come off, right? And you see here, got to plug my dude Pun and his hype sticks. These hype sticks are incredible. I'm gonna leave a link in the video. If you haven't seen them, he sells them on Etsy. They come in a bunch of different sizes. They fit a bunch of different devices, and they're just perfect, man. I can get them on here. Look at that. Look at how that looks. Look at the difference between that one. So these here, one, they look incredible, but two, these specific ones that he has, they have a textured ring around them. They're raised. I mean, they're just They're just awesome, man. They're just awesome. They fit well, and they don't get in the way when you're gaming. These are really good. They look good with the RGB. Change it to a solid color. Do gaming with traces. I mean, they work really well. So definitely a plus. And as far as the Hype 6 are concerned, just to give you an example, the camera's picking it up, but there's a variety of different sizes and colors and textures. There's just a ton of them, and they work great with this device. Like bigger sticks, like smaller sticks, this is the way to go. They fit most all of the Retroid devices, most all of the AYN devices. They fit this device. They also fit the 406H. I mean, they're just awesome. It's great device. So let's check out some games on this guy. Before we get into the games, I thought about it, and I want to take a look at, so up until this point, if you had asked me, that I would say this is Anbernic's absolute all-time best metal device. This is the RG477M. It's 3566 device, 2 gigs of RAM. It does Android, it does Linux. This I have running Gamma, and on the SD card I had running ArcOS. Incredible device, absolute my favorite metal handheld that Anbernic's done. One of my favorite 4x3s. You know, this one here is, I would say, is a little bit more pocketable than that. Well, no, it's a lot more pocketable. So, you know, the inline shoulders and triggers make sense. It's got great sticks. They're a little bit smaller, but they got great range of motion. They feel good. I mean, you know, one of the Anbernic's best devices all time was, up until this point, their best metal device. Okay, and something else, Pixel 2. You know, a lot of people love these guys because they're vertical. I know this is a completely different device, but I was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about the metal devices. I kind of wanted to give a comparison so that we can take a look and see, you know, what we're looking at metal-wise. So the Pixel 2 itself is one of the more popular metal devices you're going to find out there. Here's the Pixel 1, another great device. And this is the hot dog. So this is really niche and really kind of unique. This is a device that someone decided to take, I want to say it was an HTC phone, and convert it into a vertical handheld. It's got like a 3.5-inch vertical screen. Really cool for shmups and stuff, but I mean, it's got this awesome, just beautiful pink aluminum shell. If you look at it really good, like the shoulders and triggers are 3D printed, but it's still a very cool device. A lot of fun. I thought it'd be something that would be cool to kind of have as a comparison piece for the RG477M. So really cool. I'm gonna say, you know, when I'm looking at these, just for the feel and the experience overall, I really genuinely believe this is the best metal handheld that's ever made. Not just Anbernic's. This is just the best metal handheld that's ever made. I get it. It's probably a hot take, and some people are probably gonna just destroy me in the comments saying, "How dare you?" But I mean, for me, the experience I've had, this is gonna be the best metal handheld I've ever gotten down with. So I definitely dig it. Is this Anbernic's best device ever? That's a tough one. I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, at this very second, I'm gonna say yes. I mean, just, you know, if I'm looking at devices, like, you know, if I'm looking at hardcore gaming and stuff on handhelds, there's not very many 16:9 Anbernics that I go to all the time. Don't get me wrong, the RG556 is one of my absolute favorites. I played a lot of Android games on it and stuff, but more often than not, if I'm looking for a good high-end 16:9, I'm gonna go an AYN, like an Odin, or even a Retroid device or something of that nature. But for 4:3 aspect ratio devices, if I'm looking for PS2 and anything pretty much below, I'm pretty much always gonna grab this guy. It's been such a great, fun experience gaming on it, between how absolutely stunning the screen is and just where the D-pad placement and how good it feels is. It's been awesome. I really have no complaints about it. You know, I mean, I have, you know, like I said about the triggers, you know, we'll see mostly like with PS2 games and stuff, playing certain games, like I'll show you like Black or something, you know, it plays great, but I mean, it's just a tiny bit, like I wish they were stacked, shoulders and triggers, really. But as far as Anbernic's concerned, hot take or not, but yeah, definitely I'd say this is their best device ever. For me it is, at least. Anyway, all right, let's get into some games and give you some idea what it looks like. Let's start off on one of my all-time favorite NES games, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I'm an 80s kid, man, so I watched Mike Tyson growing up as a kid. I had an NES, and it's just one of my absolute favorite games. Just the fun. I don't think I've ever beaten Mike Tyson. I've gotten pretty far, but just a fun game. But I thought it would be great to show you. The first thing I noticed and that I love about this screen is that no need for bezels or overlays or anything. It just fits perfectly. It looks gorgeous. The screen itself has a very small bezel. I mean, it just looks great. Speakers sound spectacular. I wanted to show you some GBA so you can see it since it's a 3:2 aspect ratio. So look at the 3:2 screen there. If you notice the bezels on top and bottom are very minimal. You see how you got it on the top there? So even 3:2 GBA games look freaking awesome on this screen. And again, it's super vibrant, and I have the brightness down pretty low. It's super vibrant and it feels good. And I mean, just look at the background. I mean, just look at the game. Look how beautiful this looks. Right? I mean, it's just spectacular. By the way, Alien Hominid, in my opinion, might be the best Game Boy Advance game ever made. I don't know. I know there's probably Metroid Fusion maybe, but one of the best. How about some Little Big Planet too? PSP, I want to show you 16:9. So you see it, the bezel's not terrible. Still, you know, it does add a lot bigger bars on top and bottom, but there's the beauty of this incredible 5-inch screen. You don't notice it. It still looks awesome. Like Little Big Planet? Little Big Planet's a lot of fun. We love platformers in our house, and my sons, especially my younger son, loves Sackboy and Little Big Planet. So this is just a blast to play any of these games for us. You know, a lot of times when people think PlayStation 2, they think stuff like God of War and Gran Turismo, or, you know, Jack and Daxter, which I like. But when I think PlayStation 2, I think more often than not, the first game that comes to mind is Black or Gradius. I love those games, man. Gradius, Black. I do like Jack and Daxter. I do like God of War. Who doesn't like God of War? And I also like, Gran Turismo. But these are the games that I'm thinking. When I'm thinking PS2, Black is typically one of the first games I think of. A lot of times Gradius or some of the cool fighting games. I mean, what we got here? Just a fun game, and as you can see, it plays like a champ here on this device. So Destiny Rising is easily one of the hottest Android games out right now. It's a mobile version of Destiny. It's a standalone campaign. It's awesome, a lot of fun. Just wanted you to see what it looked like on this device. I will tell you, this game here, I'm noticing the difference with the triggers. Not having to stack triggers, I found myself accidentally hitting the wrong button a couple times, going to aim down sights, and then finding myself accidentally hitting my attack. So that's something that I did notice. Not a terrible experience, but it's running well. The fan's going on this one here. It sounds, the game plays great. So, what's my final verdict on this device? If you like metal devices, you like premium feeling devices, this may be a hot take, but I'm gonna say this is the best metal device that's ever come out. I'm also gonna take it a step further, and in my opinion, this is the best device Anbernic's ever made. I think the 4:3 aspect ratio is perfect on this device. The 5-inch screen, I mean, I'm gonna have a hard time playing any of the 4:3 devices with anything less than a screen like this. I'm gonna be honest with you, because it's such, I said it before, I'm gonna say it again, this device is Anbernic's love letter to retro gaming. It's that good for 4:3 stuff. It's awesome. I mean, I don't think everything from the sticks to buttons, you know, they're great. Don't get me wrong, it has some shortcomings. Like I mentioned before, it's heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy. These dang inline buttons. The fan, I don't know if I call the fan a shortcoming. I don't, it doesn't bother me. I don't know. I know some other people had spoken about how loud it is. It has a whistle, yes, you can hear it, but it's not, I don't even notice it when I'm gaming, to be honest with you. But everything else about the device is stellar, man. You know, one other thing, let's talk about price. So right now, in the US, okay, you're talking about US pricing. This model, this is the 8 gig model with 128 gigs of storage. It's going for $239.99 US. All right, it's also sold out, so I don't know when they're gonna get more, but right now you can't get this model. Okay, they have another variant, which is the 12 gig model. It's 12 gigs and 256 gigs of storage. That one is $279.99. That's a pretty penny to ask for this device. That's where it gets challenging, because, you know, at that price point, you're talking, you know, for the 8 gig model, the price of the 8 gig model, $239.99, you can get an RP5, right? You're gonna get a 5-inch screen, OLED, Snapdragon 865. Power-wise, this thing blows the Snapdragon 865 out of the water, but the challenge is that compatibility. The RP5 and the Snapdragon devices, they're compatible. You can get Switch running on that. You can get Wii U running on that. I couldn't get Wii U running on this. GameCube runs great. I couldn't get Wii U running on this. It struggled with 3DS, and that's not power, that's because compatibility. These Dimensity chipsets have always kind of struggled with that. They got a lot of power. Their GPU, it's just not the most compatible thing. Plus side, you know, GameHub, which is made by GameSir, said that they're gonna start making drivers for these Dimensity chipsets for GameHub, which hopefully translates to third-party aftermarket driver support for other things like, you know, Wii U. I wouldn't use this device for Switch just because of the aspect ratio, but I would do Wii U and 3DS all day on this thing. So that's a plus, you know. But I guess back to my point, for the 8 gig model at $240 plus shipping, right? Because everybody's charging shipping now. I don't know if this is worth it when you can get an RP5, or you can get an RP Flip, you know, and have a clamshell, or you can get an RP Mini if you want a square screen, you know, with a 4-inch screen. And those are all OLED screens, right? So if you're an OLED snob, you know, they may be the way to go. If you love black frame insertion, then this is the way to go, because you have the 120 hertz. You know what I mean? So that's a tough one. I can't decide for you. At $240, this device, yeah, I'd say it's worth it. The 12 gig, $280. No, I don't think so. I don't think 12 gigs of RAM is needed for the use case, at least for me. You know what I mean? 12 gigs of RAM, we're talking, you know, I'd be looking at Switch and Wii U and, you know, even PS3 emulation. Actually, this thing will probably handle PS3 emulation like a champ, but I didn't try because of the 4:3 aspect ratio, and I was more interested in PS2 and Dreamcast and you know, black frame insertion on Super Nintendo and TurboGrafx-16, stuff like that, you know. It's a great device. I stand firm with my belief that this is probably Anbernic's best device ever. Is it worth the asking price? I say wait for Anbernic to throw a sale. They're always throwing sales. AliExpress always has a sale. If you're part of Discord, find one in the secondhand market, or, you know, get one of those. There's tons of coupons on AliExpress. I would say go that route. I don't know if I'd say it's worth the full $240, and I don't think it's the 12 gig model is worth the $280, not for the use case. Excellent device. You know, like I said, Anbernic's best. I'm on the fence as whether or not I can recommend it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please consider, you know, subscribing. Don't forget to hit the like button. Again, my name is Matt. Take it easy and keep gaming.